There are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. We dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, we can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again, and then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the army of Ukraine, our army.
Freedom is the right of all sentient beings.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
Put on your uniform right?
Expert Action Badge.
Show up to work on time.
Expert Action Badge.
Qualify on your weapon.
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
Find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right. Just doing your normal warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action. The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Good morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
After Sergeant's Time, Spanky wanted to just kind of like chill and open, kind of open the bar up. So I did. I actually opened up the. I have to finish off this Buffalo Trace. I was on This Will Be Bourbon podcast. I still got to finish it off. So I figured, why not open the stock of NCO goodness and say, hey, it's time to drink up. What you drinking, Spanky? I'm
just having beer right now. Maybe in the second hour I will switch to whiskey.
Oh, snap.
But it's been a while since, I got to have a drink, a little festive beverage while doing Sergeant's Time, Because usually I got to get up butt ass early on Fridays, but we have a snowpocalypse or ice apocalypse or a whole bunch of I don't have to go to work tomorrow apocalypse.
Right, exactly. Yeah, man. My hands look different. Yeah. I had an accident right before the show. And I cut so the little guy, the little booger head, baby Ice, he's really into a lot of he's a little boy. Come on, he likes to getting into shit. So he decides to get involved in some of the ductwork. He's famous for this. He likes to take apart ductwork. He thinks he can just go inside and just check things like he's so I was like, oh, this is easy. So I stuck my hand in there because I heard some rattling in there, and I pulled out one of his little spaceships that he has. This kid has a thing for one of his little ships he just cannot let go of, and so he was upset that little ship was inside the ductwork. So I freaking went and stuck my hand in there and then fixed it and all that stuff. And when I did that, I pulled my hand out and it sliced like literally across my hand, the top of my hand. And so it was like, whoa. So there we go. So I cut my fingers. Oh no. Cut my fingers.
Did he even feel bad? About it?
Are you kidding? He got his little shit back and ran away like I was. You're like, thanks, Dad.
Next time.
Yeah, until next time. Oh, you little shit. So, anyways, it's 3 February. We're in February already in 2022. Toast to that.
Oh, I know. Yes, that's something to drink to. But yes, yesterday was like all the Tuesdays. It was all twos.
Right, exactly.
So I was like, how many people got married yesterday so they'd have that like neato anniversary?
Yeah,
I didn't.
2 of 2 to 2. Yeah, whatever. I'm not gonna. Dad, you're a peon. I know, man. A little freaking Darth Maul, Kylo Ren in my house and shit. Thinking just, when Kylo Ren kills his dad in Star Wars, he looked at me and I looked at him like, what? What's up? What's up? You know what I mean? So, but yeah, those fads or something like that. I just laugh at people to do that. They just want to. I don't know. Is it lately? All the fad stuff is starting to kind of like, I wouldn't say piss me off on a lot of shit. It's just, dude, stop.
Right? I just don't get it.
I just don't. Well, it's just like the. I know this is Sarge's time, and this is a speakeasy, but in speakeasy we flow into business and we flow into personal shit.
We do whatever we want,
and we do it. We're a couple of sarts, and we just sergeant to sergeant. Like the gender reveals. What is it with gender reveals? What is it with individuals that like to use Tannerite to explode shit and think it's like a big deal for fucking,
I mean, gender reveals used to be like when you had the baby and it came out, and that's when you knew if you were having a boy or a girl.
Right, exactly.
And then, like when I had the girl, I wanted to know, so the ultrasound told me. And then I got to go shopping for cute little girl things. But yeah, I didn't have no big party about it. I mean, I'm down for a party. Like if your gender reveal involves like alcohol and some cake,
right?
I'll come,
right,
and
exactly.
I'll be happy about it.
Right? Who would be happy? It's exactly that. Get some chow and shit, and get some free drinks, and there you go. You know what I mean? But damn, dude, you're just kind of like you're overdoing it. It's a boy, it's a girl, like passing. It's kind of like ruining the past. There's like a time-honored tradition where guys have a pack of cigars ready to go. You know what I mean? We're ready to go with some cigars and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you go over to the smoking room, and you and all the guys with your top hats.
Indubitably, yeah. With our big brandy bourbon glasses. Yeah, smashing. Is it true, Ice? You were having a small child? Yes, it's a he. I found out.
Small child.
Hopefully, but I am not having it. The woman that decided to procreate with me decided to vessel the child, and I'm just finding out right now by her guidance that it is a male. And so there we go.
Right. Oh my gosh. No, I didn't do any of that. I mean, like I said, I did find out with the ultrasound because they asked if I wanted to know. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Jim Handy says, "Hey, you're not supposed to show up naked at a gender reveal party." Wrong gender reveal party. That's the wrong one.
Jim. They don't want to know your gender.
They don't want to know your yeah. They don't want to see you don't want to see the banana hammock hanging out or something like that.
Right. They want the newest human that's going to be arriving.
Yeah, exactly. What a very interesting news day we've had this week. So some of the stuff that we're talking about here lately has been kind of. How do I say this? How do you... Okay, I'm just going to fucking do it right now. Right now, first off, big hot news is that the vax. The coof spray that's coming up. And currently right now, the Army has put out, and if you guys have been paying attention to the main page and have seen the posts of the VidVax or the coof spray, whatever you want to call it, it is now out. We have. It's time. You that's it.
You either get the shot or get out.
You get coop sprayed or you're gone. We said this was going to happen. I think you and I made a Sergeant's Time prediction a ways back.
Oh yeah,
about
like
this.
At the beginning of the pandemic. I think even.
Right, exactly. To the very beginning, it's like we're careful with this. First, it became a choice, then it's now mandated, and now it's religious exemptions, and then blah blah blah. Well, now I had to put this out because Alarak, Nick Alarak, give a dog a bone.
This old man, he's going to tell you some news.
This old man's drinking some bourbon at home. Anyways, bad fucking rhyme. I need to drink more bourbon so I can, bust some freestyle. I got to get ready for the Super Bowl halftime show. Anyways, so Alarak 002022. It provides processing instructions for the separation, evaluation, and other admin requirements for the implementation of Army Directive 2022-2-02. Damn, I can't even.
There's a lot of twos.
There's a lot of twos.
Look it up.
Hang on. So Army Directive 2022-02. So there you go. The guidance it's pretty clear. As a matter of fact, some of the stuff that we've been looking at has involved in its messaging from the headquarters department of the Army. We are merely relaying the information. I know every time
we did not write.
We didn't write this shit. I know every time we fucking post something, people say we're anti-coof spray and then we're pro-coof spray. We're just passing you the deets because this is Sergeant's time and the speakeasy is open so we can yell at each other and shit. So the point being is that now, why doesn't Spanky have a profile picture? Well, Spanky's choice is not to have one. There you go.
Yes, I don't. I do have a profile picture. Don't you see the little Spanky there? No.
Don't you see the Spanks right there with the little flower and the little? You look over there, little horn right there, and the little P with the Joshua Tree from our vacation, the Joshua Tree Forest vacation stuff.
Yes, it was wonderful. And I'm not putting a bra on to get on video every Thursday. It's just not happening. So carry on with the Alarak.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So here's some of the things. Now remember now. Soldiers fully vaccinated as soon as possible. We all know that. If you look to the main page, I am referencing this Alarak on U.S. Army WTF Moments. So if you don't, you don't believe me, hey dude, I'm just showing you where it's at. Don't fucking come after me because I'm actually, this is what I'm doing. I'm relaying the news. Makes final has been a reasonable opportunity to receive the COVID-19 vaccination and makes final declination of immunization does not have a pending or approved. Remember what we talked about before. Big Sarge is not the pending or approval guy. It's the fucking, there's specific pending or approved medical or administrative exemption to include religious accommodation. I think we've all been fucking talked about the religious accommodation, and everyone has their own, whatever. I know clearly right now there are other units and other groups and other social media platforms that are hovering over this podcast right now because they think we're fucking anti-vax. So I'm gonna stick some middle fingers up at you and say no, we're not. We're just posting the shit here that was provided to us by
I think we at least you and I, like I said, this is everybody at the station's choice because WTF Nation Radio doesn't require vaccinations of any sort. But Ice and I have posted our vax cards. So I'm not anti-vax.
I almost died, so that's why I had to kind of I had to do some stuff. I have bad health. Don't let these. I mean, I know I have a face for radio, but don't let this. Don't let this image you see right now fool you. I have it pretty bad. I'm unhealthy. You know what I mean? I'm really unhealthy. I'm so unhealthy. I'm just so unhealthy that I've unhealthy of excellence. Unhealthy. But anyways. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So it's regular Army and active duty soldiers eligible are approved to separate, retire, or before 1 July 22 upon requests. Permit separation or retirement as applicable. And as soon as practical, expedited processes in lieu of involuntary administrative separation processing. Now, these are all admin stuff. I know your chains of command should have had already busted them shits out. English, please, Ice. I'm sorry. Meaning that if you have a retirement date at a specific time and you're already getting out, then it's not required for you.
Right. You have an approved retirement.
So, right.
And
it's approved.
So basically, you're either getting it or you're getting out. That's the bottom line.
Right. Well, not to mention the fact.
I saw a comment. Of course, if you have exemptions. This isn't the first time military addresses mandatory vaccinations. I do remember, when we first started having to get anthrax shots, a lot of people were like, yeah, fuck that. I don't want anthrax shots. But it happened or you got out. So. Right.
There was some other stuff in here that had to do. Everyone's like, oh, they're just slamming NCOs and they're just slamming enlisted. No, they're not. Officers with the currently approved unqualified resignation on a date of 1 July 22 will be permitted to execute the separation without any additional administrative separation processing. So there was one thing in here that tripped me out. I'm trying to look here. Where was it at? There was somebody asked what was the characterization of service. And so in this Alarak, again, posted on U.S. Army WTF Moments, The least favorable characterization of service may be issued as a general under honorable conditions, unless additional misconduct warrants separation with other than honorable characterization of service, as written in the National Defense Authorization Act, fiscal year 2022. So that's one of them. Soldiers subsequently received the vaccine. Commanders should consider retaining soldiers who initially refused the vaccine, but then received it after involuntary has been initiated. So, ooh, man, whoa, you're all right.
Yeah. Sorry, I still say that, I fell victim to the pandemic a few weeks ago, and I'm still got a little bit of lingering effects. But, yeah, I can kind of see that, like, the soldier, didn't want to get it, was refusing. They, started separation processing, not completed, started, involuntary separation processing, and maybe they just stopped being fucktarded about it and like, okay, I'll get it. Or, they did whatever research they think they're doing by Googling shit.
Right.
And then get it. And then, yeah, because, just because you get initiated for separation does not mean you're getting separated. It usually does. And usually, it goes on up the chain and every commander signs off on an involuntary separation. But that's why there's a process.
And there's also, yes, it does fall. Somebody's saw in the comments. Does it fall under QMP? Yes, if a regular Army enlisted soldier is identified for potential denial of continued active duty service under the QMP solely on adverse information from refusing the VidVax, then the soldier will not be processed through the QMP. The soldier's commander will follow guidance. There was one in here that got me like, holy crap. Here we go. Evaluation reports. This is going to go in your eval if you're a SORT, if you're an O. This is some gourmet ratings. This is some gourmet shit of bullets. I've never seen it.
Well, are they going to put it on that
I've never seen
that were first in line before it was mandatory?
No, but I've never
volunteered ahead of his peers to get vaccinated.
Right. Well, see, that's another thing too. It pisses me off is that when this thing whole first kicked off, everyone made it a fucking leadership issue and was talking shit, saying only real leaders get this first. You know what I mean? It's like before it was a choice. Now, so this is going back and forth. That makes me laugh. And then the same idiots. You're still a shitty leader, so it doesn't matter if you got the VidVax or not.
Right? It didn't have any magic. Make you better powers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. I think I've gained some power. I mean, I think I have. Which time? The time that I got it, the time that I was in the hospital, or the time that I got the vax, or the time afterward. Anyway, that's not important. Important thing is that it's now on the evals, and on the evals right there on the NCO evaluation for CSM, CSGM, and will block check the selection of, quote, did not meet standard and no greater than a qualified on their evals. And then in the bullets for character, this soldier has undermined good order discipline by refusing to follow the lawful order to receive the VidVax. It is right frickin' there. Paragraph 3, November 4. There you go.
They really try to be holding that over your head with the, the evals that make. I mean, if you're getting kicked out, do you think any one of them cares what you're putting on their evaluation?
I'm trying to think if I even got my eval when I retired. I'm just trying to think that I ever finished it. I don't think I did.
I didn't. I just said because I hadn't been with that Raider long enough. I'm like, I don't need one.
Well,
you might know. I really don't.
Yeah, you never know. You never know this.
If you think you need to give me one, just go ahead. Yeah, she showed up sometimes.
Exactly.
Whatever.
I mean, like I said, my the under my evaluation too was kind of funny that I had great, do you want it? Do you not want it? They were pretty cool about it. So it's not like I can't remember. I have to look. I have to double check my emails because I forwarded a ton of my emails off of my AKO, which is no longer around anymore, email to that. So they even did it to the officers too. The officers have no greater than capable. And then this soldier has undermined good order and discipline. They're really throwing that good order and discipline out on this one, man. And then the senior rater said, well, senior rater will check unsatisfactory in block A. They're already, they're already working the eval angle.
Yeah, like again, like the people that are, refusing it and are, choosing, not to get the vaccine and getting out now because of it. Like I said, they're not the ones that are caring about the eval. I mean, maybe it'll make their people's senior rater profiles easily because maybe they were, those top block people before this, and now they don't have to give them a top block. And then
exactly. Everyone's like, oh, where were you reading this at? Scroll down further on the pages there. The Alarak that just came out. Knick knack Alarak, you give a dog a bone. If you don't get the VidVax, you're going home.
There you go.
There you go. I know I can bust some rhymes. I'm drinking this bourbon. But yeah, so there you go. Everyone's like has been sending me DMs in the inbox about that. How do I feel about that, or how I feel that we had already said that this was going to be a process to begin with. This was going to be an event that was going to happen, especially when it came to MilMed. Obviously, there was other vaccinations that we have received. I received so many because of the places that I've been deployed. I don't even know what I got, and probably explains some little quirks and ticks that I have, But hey, I just freaking I don't know.
Oh, right. Even as a dependent tot, like when, my dad was in the military, all the different vaccines that we had to get to go overseas, I'm like, whatever, just shoot me up. I don't even know what I got in basic training.
Right, exactly. All you knew is that you showed up and you had these two goofy-looking medics. Come here, Private. And then you walked up there. Come over here, Private. Don't tense up your arm, Private. And then the next thing you're like, why? What's going to go on? And these two guns with this magic death elixir got injected, and it was no injected. It just got it's a shot spray. It's like jet nozzle spray into your freaking arm. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, what the hell is that? And then you look at your arm. It's all like either bleeding and got the death juice just dripping out. I'm scaring a bunch of privates right now that are listening. They got death juice. What the hell is that?
It's really not that bad. It's very quick.
It's pretty quick, yeah. It'll hurt like a son of a bitch, but it'll hurt like a son of a bitch fast. How about that?
Right.
We're not talking.
Fast.
We're not talking about drawn out divorce fucking pain. We're talking about oh shit. I'm sorry. It's like
well, like I said, it's very quick, and like I said, I had so many shots. But I've mentioned this before. I have had medical exemptions for different vaccines. Like I didn't have to get smallpox shot again. Because the first time I had it, I did have a weird reaction to it. And honestly, I really think, and my PA thought so too, is because I didn't know that I had a smallpox shot or, vaccination as a kid.
Right.
Right. And because I wasn't old enough when, everybody used to get them.
Correct.
Right. So, but after I had the bad reaction, I was telling my mother about it. She's like, oh yeah, you had smallpox vaccination as a kid. You and my younger brother both. And my younger brother is obviously younger. So when I told my PA that, then they started looking at more stuff and like, maybe that's why. So 10 years go by and, you have to get the smallpox vaccine every 10 years in the military. They're like, your time for this is up. And then they went through my records and they're like, oh no, it's not. And then put in the medical exemption.
Chris got a good point. Is the peanut butter shot, the gamma globin shot, the one where they had to warm it up, and you're gonna you get that's a gamma globin shot you get for like places that is like they got diseases that'll liquefy your ass.
Yeah, I don't remember ever getting one of those. So
yep,
maybe I did and just blacked out about it.
I hated that thing. But you got stupid. Tristan says he got superpowers. Being stupid is a power, right? You got stupid powers or superpowers?
You got stupid powers or superpowers?
Exactly. I'm telling you, man. You could not sit for a week, dude. You had to like sit like one cheek up, and you kind of like had to sit sideways. And then if you couldn't even lay down because it felt like you were laying on a fucking golf ball or something like that. And you're like, god damn. But anyways, so that's the status. So that was the Alarak outrage. Again, look at U.S. Army WTF moments, or you could follow her mighty Morganness on Twitter, and she posts some Alaraks too, and she's pretty quick on the Alaraks. So it was just kind of like,
yeah, I mean, Like, as soon as the ink isn't even dry when Morgan posts some shit.
I'm about to say, I think she's the one that types some shits out and corrects a lot of the
I
spellings.
think she just runs the entire military.
I think she runs I think she runs the Army J1. That's not. I mean, there's still suspect when I go, Morgan, and they're like, "What do you mean, Morgan? Shut up!" And I'm like, "Oh, never mind. You walk away. So so again, it's up there. Look on the main page. It's already up there. Again, it's Alarak 009-2022. There we go. And it's requirement implementation for Army Directive 2022-02. And there you go. That's the big breaking vax news and shit. I know we spent 30 minutes talking about it, and I appreciate you guys giving me some questions and stuff like that. But if you look at that Alarak, it's got it pretty laid out. Your chain of command should have already received this information and have already gone by it, which I'm sure there are some chains of command that were waiting for this thing to come out.
All right. I'm sure they were. Or they are, like a lot of the southern posts right now are just the Army's closed for the next couple days.
Right. Yeah, really, huh? They had this Snowmageddon shit going on. They didn't even know how to act like, at all. It's like bread and freaking, what is it?
Bread and milk.
Bread and milk, and then next thing you know, so again, the armies are already beginning to start processing soldiers out for separation for refusing the VidVax. So there you go. That's just the news. Obviously, if you look on U.S. Army WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio, you can catch up to all the VidVax Rona news and drama. So there you go. What's next? What do we got next?
I don't know. We got so much.
Oh, yeah, we got so much.
Like, we're not going to fit this in, like, 2 hours, but
dude,
we'll get to as much as we can.
Dude, oh, shit, I'm like waving my hands around like I'm Italian. Oh, dude, check this out.
Is that what that bourbon does? The Italian accent?
You do the chef's hand? People who know me close know that when I drink a little bit, I have to kind of watch what I say. I enunciate, because then I'll start going off in different languages and shit. And
I will reel you back into English.
Yeah,
so
everyone's like,
you
yeah, really. They were like, bah. So today we busted some caps and we killed some Al-Qaedas. Okay, we didn't kill any Al-Qaedas, but we killed a U.S. Special Operations Forces conducted a mission to kill an Islamic leader in Syria. The individual was.
Oh, that's ISIS.
That's ISIS. ISIS. As a matter of fact, ISIS. Special Operations Forces surrounded the building and began to use tactical callouts from more likely psychological operations, and to say, get out, or it behoove you to come out your building, or we're going to blow you up. Well, turns out that this individual suicided himself and killed several members of his family, which included women and children. So I'm going to tell you right now, Daesh, which is their name, is the name they don't like. Daesh is you guys are freaking cowards. Probably gonna have some video made about me and shit like that. And so yes, ISIS leader killed himself, blew himself up, and there we go. Right when he was cornered and gone. Exactly. He's not or ICE is. He is gone. Is gone. There we go. Bad joke. Serious bad dad jokes right now. Dad jokes flying. Anyway, so this happened today. Let me see. The leader of a jihad group, Abu Ibrahim al-Hashemi al-Qurashi, had led the group since the death of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. And so, there we go. See ya. What a dash bag. Exactly that, Josiah. What a dash bag. Freaking dash bag. Thanks to the skill and bravery of our armed forces, we have taken off the battlefield the leader of ISIS. All Americans returned safely from the operation. He took out exactly that cause. That piece of shit coward took out his own family.
Yes, his kids. Like,
yeah,
his
kids.
Hell?
So everyone was going.
I mean, other adults in his family, yeah, but his children, like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, what do you do? What can you do, man? That's just the way cowards fight. They I think suicide bombing is a coward way to go anyways. I don't know why everyone.
Oh, I absolutely do.
It's like a freaking. I'll say it right now. I'm probably gonna have somebody try to. We had some threatening.
Like, clarify. We said suicide bombers.
We said suicide bombers. Yeah.
Bombers.
That one time we had people threatening me in the inbox saying that what was it? One of them was like Marines are cowards or some shit like that, and like, well, Marines eat crayon, so we're kind of breaking off. an old man Jihad got pissed off at me because I was going back and forth, and didn't like it. I'm gonna go. You think I'm gonna go for the Facebook jail on that one? I know, man.
I don't know.
We've been pretty lucky on WTF Nation Radio, but the main page has been getting like freaking not zucked, but getting like reported for some of the stupid shit. You know what they do? You know what it is? It's the freaking PAOs that get butthurt that their units posted on there, and then they report it as like cyberbullying, or they report some shit, and then they, you know what I mean? So we know what you're doing. We see you PAOs. We see you.
Yeah, you're just like one level up from the suicide bombers when it comes to cowardice. Just like call us
Oh my
out.
God, damn!
You know, we're talking,
holy
shit
shit,
about you. We're not.
Holy shit, Spanky.
We are relaying information. That's what we do.
Damn, dude, Spanky, you're just off the top rope about PAOs. Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. Y'all let me drink a little. And Savage Spanky starts to sneak out.
I was about ready to play the fucking.
And I'm gonna tell you about yourself.
I was gonna.
If you have a problem with something on Facebook, don't report it. Just keep fucking scrolling.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Or if it's that bad, hit that little X like in the top right corner.
Right.
And then you won't see anything at all.
Right, exactly.
Or Twitter or whatever.
Oh, man, that's freaking hilarious as shit.
I mean, let me rephrase that, because we have some like great PAO friends.
Man, oh Lord, my ears are. I don't know if my ears can handle such shit talking on PAOs.
There are some really great ones. There really are a lot of great ones, and I think those Ass Clown ones are fewer and further between. So, yeah, and looking at you, Fort Hood PAOs.
Exactly that. Looking at you, Fort Hood PAOs, when we, the WTF Nation, told you what was going on with Vanessa Guillen. And we were trying. Anyway, that's a whole note. You're just gonna get me all worked up. I'm here to be drinking bourbon and be happy because I like to drink it.
Right. Okay. So we can even still let me clown on the PAO for first cab real quick.
Okay. Go ahead. So you clown on the PAO. Hang on. I was like freaking. I literally was gonna pop ready to fucking throw this. Hang on. Where's it at? What's that song? What's this? Oh yeah, John Cena. Here we go. Here I was about ready.
And free.
Oh, not that one. That's a goddamn aerobics video on a fucking Google ad. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh damn! Now I'm gonna have aerobics people trying to cancel me and shit. Here we go. So here's Spanky talking shit about PAOs, and here's her music. Her background music right here.
All right, y'all saw the post, right?
Go ahead.
Freaking cab headquarters, they want their little carpet there with with the rope around it. Like, don't step on the carpet. Like, okay, fine, but don't try to say that soldiers are unprofessional for fucking ragging on you about it, because it's stupid. Like, okay, that's not part of Army or even cab tradition to not walk on rugs. Ever since rugs have been invented, that's kind of what they're for.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I remember. Yeah, that's a good point, because a long time ago, and this is some, since we're old, since I'm old and I could tell you guys some of the history of some stuff. Back in the day, nobody gave two shits about standing at the position of attention for the Army song. As a matter of fact, it was one of those, it's like an outro song. You know how you have intro music? Just like I did that John Cena song. You have that outro music after a ceremony. You just played that music after that. Well, then somebody, just like the same idiot that decided to fucking starch the new OCP ACUs, you know what I mean? You got those guys that are out there that want to starch uniforms and shit. You should just when you play the Army song, no big deal. Nobody cared. Now, because some sergeant major freaking probably saw you just playing grab ass or something like that during the Army song, just like the carpet, got pissed off and wrote it in a policy. This needs to fucking happen now. Now you need to stand at the position of attention when the Army song is playing, because some sergeant major got butthurt a couple years ago and decided to write it in a freaking FM. And nobody knew about it until they got corrected.
Right? Or they're gonna people are not being unprofessional if they're just, calling you out for stupid things.
I hate starch.
And trust me, I understand tradition.
Dude, don't get me started.
Things that we've always done.
Bailey just posted it. Bailey just posted a comment that I don't get triggered, but I will say it has affected my it triggered me. Starching the uniforms. I'm gonna tell you what. If you're starching the uniform if you are starching the uniform right now because you think it looks good, you're the same idiot that calls old NCOs and you call Big Sarge fucking boomers. You're the same NCO. You are the enemy that you swore that you would never become. If you starch your uniforms right now, you have defeated the fucking purpose of what those uniforms were for. And I guarantee it, in most units, if you come with them spits and starches now, you're going to get laughed at. As a matter of fact, you deserve to get laughed at. I choose violence tonight on freaking the TL, man. Fuck that. You're going to starch your uniform. You might as well just go ahead and polish your freaking suede boots neutral? So it's all shiny? That's some Big Sarge shit. Bunch of damn sidewalk leaders and crap. Fuck. Man, I hate that crap.
Yeah,
it's like, no, I'm serious, man. I mean, I could just imagine somebody looking at that uniform and it's some big sergeant major who missed being in spits and starches because he thought being in the Army was a goddamn dress show. And then he goes, I think we need to starch them shits. And I'd be like, ugh.
Especially when you have it be all beautiful head to toe for multiple formation and then go PMCS your vehicle and fuck it all up.
Right. Yeah, exactly. The whole, it was funny was because exactly that, Vishal. Free Taiwan. Taiwan is a country. China can kiss my butt. The CCP. Yeah. What about them? Yeah. Did you see freaking? Oh, this is a Monday. I don't want to get into Monday edition shit, but
you better not because I will fucking go to bed.
All right. Sorry, I've been drinking. Speakeasy's open, so come on. So it used to piss me off. It used to piss me off to see that you exactly that. You would starch everything on Yadkin Road. It's to the point to when you start something, it affected the rest of your laundry. Like when you wash your uniforms to get all the to get some dirt off before you take it to the cleaners. Back when we wore BDUs. And the next thing you know, you had T-shirts that were freaking all crispy and shit, and you had freaking your socks, or you had some what the hell's going on? You had like clothes that you never had ever starched before in your life getting mixed in there because, some of them cleaners were like, oh, you want more starch? I'm like, yeah, give me some more starch. You want super starch or you want Big Sarge starch? I want some Big Sarge starch. You know what I mean? Down the Korean lady down the street exactly down Riley Road at Back and Bag would be like the same way. But I'm just like, damn, dude, you have to be super Big Sarge. I'm going to call you out. I'm going to clown you. I'm going to laugh at you if you starch your uniforms right now. As a matter of fact, take off those crazy pockets that you have on the side because that right there is freaking all that uniform that you hate about. You know what? The guys who invented that uniform put their hands in their pockets. Not only did they put their hands in their pockets, they walked on Sergeant Major's grass. Not only that, but they had their hands in their pockets and they had their uniform top off and they wore ball caps instead and they grew beards.
They probably have mullets too.
Exactly that. Go Army soft, damn it.
I know, real quick. When y'all are doing those 2808s or 2088s, whatever that form is to request uniform changes, stop going so hard on the beards. Yeah. Y'all guys should start bring mullets back. Do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm just saying, it just pisses me off to see. I know shit. I got to. I am honored. I am really honored to be speaking at units. As a soldier for life, and as Ice and also a retired smedge, I get to speak and I'm invited out to units and talk. And I saw these soldiers with some starchies, and I'm like, yeah, these are the guys that don't want to get dirty. These are the soldiers that feel like getting dirty to them is beneath them, so they want to keep a nice clean uniform. So you're not going to go down on the boulevard and go pick up some chicks, dude. Go fucking go to the motor pool and get underneath the truck and start working on them shits. You know what I mean? It just pisses me off when I see that shit, that the intent of a uniform, just like the outer garment, which goes into the next story we're going to talk about, right? The fleece jacket. The fleece jacket, I'm going to tell you right now, I choose violence on the TL right now to you all. Right now on the TL. The fleece jacket is an outer garment. The Army G1 uniform sergeant major.
People thought it wasn't, but
it is a freaking outer garment. Now, don't get me wrong. It is a layered piece of uniform that can be worn as an outer garment because it's a later part of the extended cold weather uniform. Your Gore-Tex and all that sort of stuff with that. If you really want to go by the letter of the law, Big Sarge, did you know that you're not supposed to be wearing your uniform underneath that shit? I was like shocked when I think I had an E4 Mafia platoon sergeant back in the day because he didn't give a shit, and he always got pissed. He got yelled at because his freaking he was in a meeting or something like that with the first sergeant. The first sergeant got in his ass because he didn't wear his uniform underneath his layered Gore-Tex uniform because you have to wear it layered. Well, you're not supposed to be wearing your uniform underneath that stuff. You're supposed to be wearing the long underwear. You're supposed to be wearing it in layers and all that. Layer 1,
like
layer
the
2.
silkies and the waffles.
Exactly that. All that shit, right?
So you know what?
So he got his ass.
He
got his ass chewed out, and the first sergeant at the time, he was. I don't want to like drop names, but he he said he wanted, and this is back. Of course. Garrison, but I don't know what is it with Garrison guys wanting to write essays and shit. I mean, don't write no essays. You're wasting soldiers' time, and you're not even qualified to grade the motherfucker. So don't do it.
Right.
so he's like, you need to write an essay on why you think you should be wearing this blah 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 blah. And the kid my platoon sergeant brought a fucking the TM of the freaking and man, it was like. Clutching, people were clutching pearls. How dare you? How dare you do the like? It was like that's the reg. The fleece is an outer garment. It has been the Army G1 uniform sergeant major already said it. It is an outer garment. It is layered like an outer. They even provide hook and pile accommodations for your name and rank. Guess what? It's an outer garment.
I mean, they wouldn't need it if it was only an undergarment. It makes me crazy that the G1 sergeant major uniform person has to clarify that in the year of our Lord 2022, and then have the sergeant major of the Army have to co-sign on it because, like, I guess her word wasn't good enough. Yeah, Jesus. And it's all been in writing since the shit first came out.
Bailey said I'm like waving my hands around because I have sizable hands that. And I might hit the audience.
When you're doing it with the camera like that, and that angle and that perspective,
everyone's like thinking.
Yes, your hands look rather large.
Only those that know. My hands are fairly sizable. Anyways, but I just like I can't believe people are arguing about this shit on social media. People are like, it's not an undergarment. Are you freaking for real? Are you freaking? Yeah, exactly that. In the year of our Lord 2022-222. Of excellence. You're gonna tell me that's not? I don't think so, man. It isn't. It is an outer garment. Troops wear it as a jacket. As a matter of fact, I want you to go to find anything else. Matter of fact, we'll post. We'll start. Hit the inbox. Hit the WTF Nation inbox on Twitter, or hit up U.S. Army WTF Moments or WTF Nation Radio on Facebooks. And I'm telling you what, man, Big Sard, this is, and now that we're done with all of our Infinity War deployments, except for Go Army Soft, Go Army Soft, because it wasn't Third ID doing this shit, that mission in Syria. It is a freaking, it's just like you said, in the year of our Lord. I can't believe people are questioning this. And what pisses me off is that the social media backlash back and forth has been, and this is Big Sarge too. These are like senior NCOs, and I'm in several sergeant major groups and senior NCO groups, and I got kicked out of one because I said you guys are being a bitch about it, and they got mad.
You can't call them out on their shit.
You can't call them out on their shit. Exactly, they got mad, and I even said, what is it about it? And it says, well, it looks unprofessional. I said the Army doesn't think it looks unprofessional. It is fucking authorized. And so there you go.
I mean, and it has been since like the system, cold weather, whatever system, generation 3.7.
Yes. Oh my God. It's been man, there time. Was some. Well, I think the thing was that got me thrown out of this NCO group was because this guy was talking about, freaking what level of jacket is it? It is a jacket this. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? It doesn't matter. It doesn't. If you are authorized to wear the fleece and authorized to, do we have to break it down for you? You're insulting my intelligence. No, dude. I'm not insulting your intelligence. Here's the Great Fleece War, fucking 2022. Because
I'll insult your intelligence.
Yeah.
If you cannot simply read the TM for it.
Exactly. Holy shit, dude.
I will be the one to tell you.
I encourage all.
Reading is fundamental.
I encourage all violence on anyone who believes that it's not an outer garment. As a matter of fact, please send us more screenshots of all your tomfoolery, of all your leadership fuckery. We encourage the screenshots. I remember back time we used to post shit and be like, bullshit, WTF moments, you're just lying. How come you don't post screenshots of the text messages? Okay, here's this text message. Right. You guys Photoshop that. That's not real.
U.S. Army WTF Moments is way better than me because y'all's fucking names would be on it if I was the one posting the shit.
Well, that's because
I will call you out. I will tag you.
Spanky, that's because you're
I will at you.
So
you're the your mama.
Yeah. That's because you're the mayor of Pettytown.
Very much.
You're like you don't give a shit. I mean, there's some tweets that you're like, look at this, Ken. Wow. And I thought one time you did a tweet, and I thought you were doing a tweet like a draft or something like that. I didn't know you.
No.
I didn't know.
I don't ask permission.
As I'm saying, I didn't know you did already tweeted it out. Dude, I was dying, man.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tag you. Yeah, and I'll tag your boss, your mom, your dad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Yep. So again, fleece is an outer garment. It is 100% authorized. Flex your shit.
And I still can't believe, again, here we are, like, I don't know, 15 years fucking later, and you have to have at least the GED to join the military.
Well, yeah, I mean, you kind of had to. I mean, it's like one of those things. Why am I so punchy today? I'm punchy? I'm not punchy. I'm in a good mood. I'm like jazzed.
Absolutely.
I'm jazzed. And like I said, I'm a good mood drunk. I'm not drunk right now, but I have been drinking some Buffalo Trace choice bourbon that I had with my buddy Eric. There Will Be Bourbon. Check out his podcast. Also on iTunes. Also on but yeah, dude, I'm just like, as a matter of fact, I think we should do a fleece giveaway. I'm going to dig to my TA50 and find some fleece. Man, I should have wore some fleece. Matter of fact, when we go on a break, I'm going to put my fleece on.
I don't have one. That is not one of the things I kept.
That's something, after so long being in, I have so much TA50 that, it's like, what do you do freaking, Do I get a nickel every time I do it? No, I just a shout out. It's one of those things, Bailey, that you kind of, supporting a fellow veteran of podcasters. And Eric's a good dude, so. Anyways, you still have your fleece? Yeah, exactly that. So, fuck it, bust that fleece out. As a matter of fact, you know what you guys do? You guys should just show up, just send pictures to the WTF Nation.
I'll do it.
Just send pictures of all the way.
In all honesty, if you send me something in confidence, I'm not going to post your name. But if you're posting some shit out there, I will.
I would love to see it. I want to see this. I want the hate. You know what I mean? I want the hate. But anyways, what was I gonna say? Oh shit, it's break time.
It is almost the top of the hour.
Yeah, it's the top of the hour. I gotta take a break.
Yes, we do. We have to take a break.
All right. Well,
we have to collect ourselves. Namaste and calm down a little before Miss Patty comes out, and then that's it. She doesn't get put away.
Had to take deep breaths. And I think I'm gonna put on my fleece jacket. I'm gonna go get it out of my closet and freaking put it on.
Yeah. See, then we have to take a break. He needs to be warm.
I need to be warm. Exactly that. No, I'm actually pretty amped. When I'm amped and stuff, I could I'm do a flipple. You're wearing a fleece now. We're gonna take a break right quick. Everyone, go ahead, refill your glasses. Take a leak. Smoke if you got them, and shots. See you soon.
Shots. WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
Sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo, and in my 50-pound sack. Boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. We made it home, but we never came back. But when we close our eyes at night, we hear a rocket attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar. In Kandahar.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shot.
I was thinking about I had hands on the whoopee, and you know what, man? I should have freaking grabbed the whoopee. But anyways, welcome back to the second part of Sergeant's Time in our Speak Easy edition. Hanging out at the NCO Club tonight, drinking some bourbon.
The backbone. That's where we're at.
We're at the backbone. We're at the bitter end. Where's the so what are you drinking tonight? You said you're gonna switch it up to some harder stuff.
I just got one of my chocolate stouts with a shot of chocolate vodka in it. So this will be my last drink of the night.
Oh, wow.
For sure.
Well, then, okay.
It's very tasty.
I can tell, man.
Very tasty. I have only had a few sips. It's just very thick and chocolatey. And
is it good?
Chocolate.
You like the chocolate?
Absolutely.
Really? I have to try it. You had to send me some deets.
Yeah,
on that one.
Will. It took me forever to find chocolate vodka. This bottle of chocolate vodka I've had for a couple years because it's only good to me personally is like there's some chocolate martini that I used to make.
Oh, damn.
But again, that's super sweet.
Oh man, I would love to have some chocolate martinis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or you just put like a shot in it's like a 12-ounce or 16-ounce beer. So if it's less than a 16-ounce chocolate stout beer, don't put like a whole shot in it because you're just trying to like make the chocolatey more chocolate. But yeah. It's delicious, yes.
Yeah, I'll have to try it. Man, you have to share some recipes when we're done tonight. Yeah. So I mean, going off of my rant about fleas, as as our captions on Facebook says, the fleas.
The fleas.
The fleas.
It's coming up again. Well, I have to have captions.
Yeah. Captions funny. So we've already discussed the fleas, and we've already discussed the vidvacs. We already discussed that ISIS dude getting whacked, or actually he whacked himself.
Yes.
Can we just choose that vernacular now to talk about he whacked himself? In a raid, in a special operations raid in Syria.
He unalived himself.
He unalived exactly that. He decided to. Last time we made some jokes about that. People got pissed off and said we were cracking on somebody's religion when we weren't. We were just shit talking to ISIS and Al Qaeda. Also today, at the age of 100, Special Operations legend Major General John Slinglaub has passed away. This dude's like a legend in the Special Operations community. He goes way back in the in history. If you go to history.net and look up John Slinglaub, you will see. This guy is, a veteran of World War II, Korea, Vietnam. He's got an impressive resume, and he was quickly recruited by the offices of the Strategic Services, the precursor to the Central Intelligence Agency, and so he's a badass. So I almost want to go ahead and toast one to that legend there, John Slinglaub. Rest in peace, dude. 100 years old, man. 100 years old. Isn't that? Everyone's like upset about how Betty White died and shit like that, and how she was going to be just shy of 17 days just shy of her 100th birthday. Is it too old? Is that too old? Well, I mean, when you think about it, I mean,
is it? I guess it just depends. For like how your body and your mental health and everything is holding up. I personally, yes, of course I was sad when Betty White died. I've been a fan of hers since, the early 80s when I was old enough to be a fan of somebody. I mean, but she went out on New Year's Eve, that's perfect timing. Like everybody's going to toast up to her and spending her 100th birthday with who she wanted to, you know, her late husband. So I guess it just too old depends on how you're living. Like, I'm not even halfway to 100, and I feel like my body is like, oh, no, you're like 85 already, so slow down, girl.
No comment. I tell people about my age, and they're like, nah, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. And then like,
you want to see my MRIs?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you want to see those carbon dating stuff? And then they're like, what? You know, it makes dating pretty difficult too. So you're what? Never mind. See ya. Anyways, there's a so again, 100 years old, special operations legend, John Singlaub, again, toast up, and you know, rest in peace, sir. That's 100 years, man. That's like a long. That's the life. You go back in time and you know, you did all that stuff, and then you just freaking, dude. I don't know. It's just, everyone's like, oh, why are you getting on? I remember we posted a thing about Betty White. People were like, oh, why are you getting mad about Betty White? She was 100 years old. What did you expect? Shut up.
we do what we want again. I'll tell you.
Exactly.
We do what we want.
Exactly that, Baconator. The carbon data machine, don't even do it. Don't even do it. So yeah, so he passed away. So a lot of individuals are going back and forth, you know, hey, what is the proper mourning age or whatever? Because, you know, she or he, 100 years old is a long life. Like you said, if your faculties are good and all that stuff and everything's good to go, I could see you being upset that, you know, Betty White was.
I mean, I might be on my rocking chair yelling at people to get off the lawn. You know, it depends. How do I feel?
Meanwhile, Betty White's like doing freaking marathons and shit and 5Ks better than us. You know what I mean? She's like,
right.
So she freaking, you know, it's just like, fuck, man. Anyways, so again, cheers, rest in peace, sir. And you know, we'll see you on Fiddler's Green. So the next story we're going to talk about is there's some people that are pissed off about this new vehicle that came out, and it's a squad infantry vehicle. It's an infantry squad vehicle. And it's not operationally effective for combat missions against near-peer threats. Take it easy, Branko. It looks like freaking. It looks like somebody got a freaking. Well, let me just show a picture of it. It looks like somebody got a freaking SUV, a little Blazer or something like that, like some little Chevy, not full-size truck, you know. It just everyone's cracking on it. It's like, it's a multi-billion-dollar program. And saying it's not what it's supposed to do is for the ISV, quote unquote, is not designed to defeat or counter specific threats, nor is it intended to operate as a combat fighting platform. Steve Herrick, the product lead for ground mobility vehicles at PEO Combat Soldiers and Combat Service Support. Yeah, it looks like.
It kind of looks like a giant gator.
That's what it says. That's what I'm about to say. It looks like a giant gator, or somebody said in there. It looks like. Looks like a gator had sex with an MRAP. A Humvee had sex with an MRAP. Exactly. It looks like that. ISV is not designed, of course, obviously for that. So Herrick's statement came after several days after the Pentagon's Director of Operational Test and Evaluation published a harsh review. I mean, it's
just, from what I'm reading, it's just to get people from point A to B.
Right. It's just,
instead of having to ruck it. You know, we have the technology that we shouldn't be having to ruck march very far.
It's still not gonna. I love people when
we've had the technology for 100 years.
Yeah, I love say I love when people say they think that ruck marching that's part of the military operation. No, that's actually the way to get to work. So, Joe took us.
It's a really shitty way to get anywhere.
That's right, Jason. Jason Town says that it's a freaking new Garrison TMP to run around and to do post cleanup. That's how you check post cleanup, bro. Come on, man. That's how you check to make sure check the line on the motor pool and stuff like that. But looks like exactly that, cause looks like somebody got a sawzall to it. But anyways, yeah, it's freaking. There's no requirement for protection or armor, so the unit on the ISV is to avoid threats. So basically, it's a Cav Scout killer. Is that what you're saying? It's only made to have the scouts.
I mean, again, this is the way I'm reading it. This is like the alternative to having infantry squads walking to where they're going. I'm like, So I don't see the issue with it. Well, I mean, how much are they paying for this? Probably because again, they could have just got a couple gators. like how far are they, traveling? But again, I see the point.
Those new,
those infantry dude that would just be normally, wrecking into wherever they're going. If they can get a ride, give them a ride. Like I said, I don't see the issue with it.
Yeah, I think because we're so used to Infinity War, and and our method of doing stuff with armored vehicles. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, you gotta realize, like, we're old enough that we were just over in Iraq in like Humvees with some sandbags on the floor.
Right.
So that was up armored.
Right. Exactly.
So, is it needed to be up armored, or is it needed to like get people from point A to point B? I mean, we already have up armored vehicles that are, so I don't know. Whatever. I don't see a problem with them. They look a little fun. I want to drive one.
I know. I'm about to say they didn't ask us for a ride. That's what they should have let us drive it. Members of the WTF Nation to take it for a spin, because that's one thing.
I know they're not going to have heaters. They have their fleece. They'll be okay.
It's an outer garment, right?
Right.
I kick myself in the ass for not having my props ready in time. Now I know how Carrot Top fell in his first show. You know what I mean? You didn't have all those props.
I have a watermelon in the fridge, though, so it's cool.
That's Gallagher.
Oh shit! It is
Gallagher.
Right. Yeah, I have my old comedians mixed up now.
Yeah, exactly that. So again, hey, whatever. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the expectation was to do anything else, but to, like you said, just to give troops a ride, and that's it.
Right.
So there you go. But,
there, the Army defended it. I defended it for the Army.
Yeah, exactly that. So Spanky knows. Are you going to get a kickback from PEO soldier or something like that?
I don't know. I think I should now.
You should get a kickback. Anyways, so the next story we're going to talk about, if you guys don't know what's been going on, and I'll say this, at the center of the universe, also known as Fort Bragg, North Carolina, home of the 18th Airborne Corps, members of the 82nd Airborne Division departed, I should say, not deployed, because then people are going to freak out thinking I'm doing OPSEC shit. Departed Fort Bragg today. And PAO spokesman for 18th Airborne Corps, Matt Visser, said the troops are going to support NATO allies and partners in deterring Russian aggression. That's right, because when the phone rings and America needs some 911 assistance, the phone rings at Bragg. Now I'll say it. Back at Bragg.
Back at Bragg. We got through an hour and 20 minutes.
Hour and 20 minutes without saying back at Bragg. Anyways, so the soldiers of the 18th Airborne Corps and the 82nd Airborne Division are always ready as America's contingency corps and have the responsibility to mobilize at moment's notice to deploy, supporting whatever operation it is, Visser said, unquoteth. About 1,700 paratroopers are part of an infantry brigade combat team that will go to Poland and then move a joint task force headquarters to Germany. So there we go. So there, right?
If only we had a division in Germany. We talked about that.
If only we had two divisions, a corps quarter. Man, I'm like, let me drink some more bourbon here.
I know what you mean.
You know what you mean? A corps headquarter.
In charge of these divisions.
Some people in charge of excellence, of airborneness, of charge. They should just put like another airborne division in freaking Germany. Activate another airborne division. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the greasy chickens freaking 101st. They're not even airborne. I mean, they're like, I'm going to get a bunch of freaking hate mail now from the 101st. Oh, you're talking about greasy chickens. Send it. Take that air assault badge off, or take that airborne thing off your airborne. And here I am talking shit wearing a 1st Armored Division t-shirt. So there. How about that?
Again, there was a reason. I mean, I get drawing down and things like that, but I mean, that's like half the world that we were kind of covering from Germany.
You're right. Had two divisions, a corps headquarters, a large component there to support the corps headquarters. We had some garrison units. We also had the at the time it was a Southern European Task Force, and then it was reflagged to the 173rd Airborne Brigade. Supported units there as well. Transportation, support unit. I think it was 3rd COSCOM. Wait, where's 3rd COSCOM is Fort Hood. 1st COSCOM is, I think it was.
It was 13th COSCOM was at Fort Hood.
13th COSCOM, so it was like 3rd. Yeah, 3rd is that right? So like they're different COSCOMs. They had a COSCOM in Germany too. And so them leaving, like you said, leaving that void of having no presence there, and then having Poland saying, "You want for Trump?" That's not going to be. Baconator says England. I'm going to tell you what. What about England? That's kind of England's kind of like too far to project though, because you could literally.
Yeah, England was just like where all the Air Force was, because you can fly out of England.
Right.
There's never been a huge army presence in England.
Aside from D-Day. Aside from, doing some shit in D-Day. That was one of the largest army presence when they flew out of England to go to, to jump into Normandy. But other than that.
Right, and then back with the Libya business. But other than that, yeah.
Right. So having these organizations there, you wouldn't have needed to deploy one of the most rapidly deployable organizations in the U.S. Army. The good old leaning shithouse, exactly that, Recruiter Times, exactly that. Yeah. So I honestly think that was hey, sorry if you want to live that life, because you notice you're not seeing other units going to do stuff. You're not seeing other units, doing expeditionary shit. Go Army SOF, or go to the 82nd, because now that's the game in town to do stuff. Sorry, just want to say you might have some force-on-force shit later with some training exercises with some heavier units, but the rapid deployable life, the rated brigade life, that's it, man. The airborne life, freaking.
Yeah, I don't like to live that life. I'm good. I mean, I had to live be ready in 2 days.
I'm just saying, man.
But not in 2 hours life.
Airborne's not just a badge, unlike air assault. I'm just saying. Airborne's life. Somebody asked a question here.
I don't have any of those badges. I'm good.
Nice question. Did you not see the Ukraine situation and giving Korea doing all the missile testing and the recent? Yes, all of our adversaries are definitely taking advantage of all the shit that they're doing right now, especially when it comes to China, especially China with their flying into Taiwan's restricted zone or identification zone. It's not really in their airspace, but it's in their zone where they're tracking them, and they've flown in there to kind of like harass. And then of course Korea has launched several projectiles, into the freaking.
Yeah, little Kim, he does that all the time though. So,
I'm gonna watch Team America after the show because I'll praise. Sorry, man, I gotta watch it. If you want to watch that shit. So I hope that answers the question. But yeah, it's one of those things to where we have, obviously have other distractors or other adversaries wanting to distract you in their stuff. No doubt, North Korea is taking advantage of that shit. And our allies in South Korea, are watching. They're the ones that they're keeping a steady eye.
They're the ones that have something to lose.
Right. I'm just saying.
They're the ones right there. Them in Japan. Oh.
I seem surprised.
We're not surprised.
Nah, we're not surprised at all. We have to act surprised. How about that, Becky? So that way we don't look like we already know. You know what I mean?
Right. They're already been there.
We've been there. Spanky's like the Korea.
There's just more.
Yeah.
Spanky's. And yes, little Kim does set off missiles all the time. He really does. I don't know. That's just someone that has been there, and having to do, we got to pull 24-hour ops again because little Kim is acting up.
Right.
Yeah, he does do it all the time.
He's gonna do it anyways.
All right, let him test his toys.
Yes, Korea does do it all the time. What are you talking about? And no, Korea
right?
does. Becky, what are you talking about? What news feeds are you looking at? Go look up ballistic missile launches North Korea, and you'll see he does do it all the time.
And that's just everything that makes major news networks.
Right, exactly. What's your definition of all the time? You know what I mean? Is that like saying that 100's not old, 100's old? It's not only mine. Age is but a number,
right?
Not mentality.
I guess it just depends. What is the number? Is
I don't even know.
Daily?
I don't even know why I'm asking.
Weekly?
I don't even know why
monthly?
I don't even know why I'm asking you, Spanky, because you're not a Korea expert, even though you've been there a bunch of times. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've been in Korea longer than some Koreans. Yeah. I loved it there. I really did.
I don't need to watch it, given my previous job in the Air Force. Well.
Oh, okay.
We're doing that, huh?
All right, yeah. All right. let me.
Korea has the best Army bar games. What? They do. Actually, Spanky was the one that was telling me before the Rona hit, and we were supposed to do a visit, and obviously Rona hit, and we couldn't.
We don't have to Google it. I mean,
we have to.
Say, you forget. Okay, so somebody was in the Air Force in Korea and thinks they know more. Let me stop because I'm about to get angry.
Go, girl.
Let's go on to the what bar game?
Go, girl.
What bar game?
Go,
okay,
girl.
Yes, Korea does have the very best Army bar games. I can't stop. All right. You know what? I almost want to Google it and just put a list of when they do it all the time. Camp Humphreys should be part of this conversation. Absolutely. Camp Humphreys is the new Yangsan.
I don't even know what you're saying. I have no idea. I'm just listening to you. I'm just listening.
Bless your heart.
Oh, yeah. Bless your heart. Oh, damn. You busted out the bless your hearts. Holy shit. I know last week was me going off on some people about some other shit. Now you're just blessing hearts everywhere. What's up with that?
That's right. You know what? I think we need to just change the subject and go on to something fun.
Know what an imagery analyst is? Wow. Holy crap. We call them squints. Because you guys have to squint to look down and see some of the shit you think you see. Don't give me that imagery analyst stuff. Come on, Becky. We're having a good time right now, drinking some bourbon and drinking some of their chocolate stout.
Right?
We're having fun. Now we're just trying to one-up each other and shit. Come on, man.
It's okay. Becky can just have it. You know, if she thinks she's that much more important. Go on, Becky. With the good hair.
Yes. Slay Queen. What were we talking about next? What was the next topic we're talking about? So that way Becky doesn't.
Let's talk about.
So that way Becky doesn't know what we're talking. Hang on. Let's just try to find out what Becky's not knowing. That way Becky doesn't know what we're talking about. Okay.
That's okay. Becky's our new national security advisor. She knows it all.
Oh man. So anyways, Godspeed to all them troopers out there deploying to the Ukraine area. And yes, Ivan's a threat. There you go. How about that? Anybody simping for Ivan? Hey, I got issues with that. Don't be simping for Ivan and hoping that something bad happens to our troops. Just because you don't like them wearing fucking ponytails. That's some bullshit.
Right. Or fleece is an outer jacket.
Exactly that. Let him wear fleece. Ivan don't give a fuck, dude. You don't give a shit about a leg tuck or arguing about a leg tuck. Shit. Exactly. You're there to fucking kick Ivan's ass and steal his vodka. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you should be doing.
Yeah, let's give him some soju. They need to mix it up over there in Russia.
Yeah, really, exactly. In Russia, leg tucks you. But anyways, what was the next one we're talking about? And we were looking at the man bun.
Let's talk about the mandatory fun, the dumb military rules.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So, let's go out on a funny note.
Let's go on a funny note. Go ahead.
Dumb rules and regulations.
Go for it. Go ahead.
It's one of the most enduring traditions.
Drop. Okay, I'll let you wrap this one out, so that way we can all calm down.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. So General Douglas MacArthur, he is credited with saying that rules are mostly made to be broken and are too often for the lazy to hide behind. Gosh, I love him even more now because I really didn't know he ever said that. And that may strike some as ironic given that he was the 13th Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army, an organization that's built on rules and regulations. Then again, he was fired by Truman after ordering Allied troops to attack across the 38th parallel into North Korea during the Korean War, disobeying the Commander-in-Chief's orders and possibly prolonging the war. MacArthur broke a pretty important rule in the military and one that most would agree is a dumb. But for every rule, like don't disobey a direct order from the Commander-in-Chief, there are dozens more that probably shouldn't even be rules, much less regulations. Some examples include saluting blue stickers on cars. I think that one's kind of gone away. We don't really keep like the different color stickers on our cars anymore. Or we talked about this earlier, not being able to wear issued gear because some sergeant majors decided to use commander's discretion as a bludgeon to destroy anything resembling common sense. And hey, real quick, sergeant majors, you are not commanders. Even if it's command sergeant major,
ouch!
You don't get to make.
Damn! I wish I had another mic so I could drop it. Holy shit, Spanky! Damn! That's some fire there. You're spitting some truth. Ouch! Man, you're right. Sergeant majors don't create policy. Sergeant majors don't have an open door policy. Commanders do. Whoa.
Exactly. You are not commanders, sergeant majors. You don't get to make rules.
Sergeant majors gonna be freaking
You
out
don't.
right now. I can't believe you said this, Ken. It's bullshit. Why are you making fun of us? We get to break balls. Anyway.
I'm going to.
So I got the picture of the fleece jacket up right now because obviously the Air Force doesn't give a shit. They don't care. They don't care about hands in pockets. They don't care about earbuds. As a matter of fact, they encourage that you walk with your fucking phone in your hand, looking down, texting, as long as you look up to render proper courtesy. That's all they care about. Why is it again? Let's go back to the freaking individuals that like to starch uniforms that aren't supposed to be starched.
I mean, even that's in writing. Like, do not starch this.
Do not starch this because it also has some insecticide that needs to be worked through, and the starch will actually yada 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 yada.
Oh man, it kills me. But then again, that's the thing. As the article says about military rules, some are actually, rules, meaning they are regulations that are laid out in a manual that you can refer back to. That reading thing I was talking about earlier that everybody in the military should be able to do if you have at least a GED.
You know what trips me out though, Spanky, though, is that I bet that a big sarge and what do you call an officer that's stupid about the policies and stuff? What do you call it? You call him big sarge, captain. What you want to call him? Because it's usually between lieutenant and captain where they freaking act like big sarge. So what do we call them? What nickname do we have here?
I'm gonna have to come up with one. Y'all help us out.
Yeah, we have to come up with a nickname for a big sarge-like officer between the ranks of, because majors they're kind of like either S3s or XOs.
Yeah, majors are just behind a desk.
Yeah, they're majors or majors. Yeah, majors. Lieutenant colonels are obviously your battalion commander, yada yada. But it's usually that rank in between. It's first lieutenant to captain. It's when they get it's almost big sarge-like. And Crapton, unless except when you're sergeant major of the army, except when you're sergeant major of the army chandler. I don't know. Do you guys Christopher says, as a major, I was a staff bitch.
I mean, that's just it. That's what most majors do.
Barney Fife. So
sad.
Barney Fife.
Barney Fife.
Okay, I can see that. I like that one. Well, again. I bet you if the Army... Okay, let's put it this way. Let's use Jason's terminology then. This vernacular for the rank of first lieutenant to a young new captain who thinks they can just like own the world even though they're just captains. Which is pretty funny because in other communities, captains are just like another LT, just like another lieutenant. So it's like, you better respect my authority. And you're like, dude, fucking shut up, man. But whatever. But I bet you if Big Sarge and Barney Fives did not impose their own shit, I guarantee it, the Army would be not as bad or not as drama-filled as it is right now.
Exactly. I mean, all of these rules and regulations are laid out. And they even, like, if you read the first page, tells you, no, you can't add to. There's no such thing as adding to regulations.
Right.
Only, the proponent of the regulation can add to. Or take away.
Look, if you have to have,
stop it.
If you have to have a uniform, the Army Sergeant Major G1 uniform, Sergeant Major. Look, think about this right now. The Army had to create a job for a Sergeant Major to be that Sergeant Major to tell other Sergeant Major to shut up about their stupid outside outer garment shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, like, why does that even have to be a job? Everything's written.
That's why we need to have an old crusty like Mustang captain who went to OCS and is going to retire as a captain or like right before or retire as a major, and that should be the one that should counteract. That should be like, how the judge likes to have taser violence. He endorses taser use on individuals. The same thing, because a lot of the stuff that the Army has drama with, a lot of them are freaking. Honestly, I think I read it about wrong for the radio. I was expecting more. Have a good night. Peace. See you.
Deuces.
See ya. Have a good night. Appreciate you listening, though. But I think, I mean, there needs to be like just like there's a sergeant major out there to tell everybody, hey, damn it, freaking, because I always thought that officers weren't supposed to be in NCO lanes anyways when it came to the uniform.
Right? Like, the policy is written.
Always refer to the sergeant major. Always refer to the first sergeant, right? Isn't that what senior raiders tell their young lieutenants and young captains? Hey, listen to your first sergeant. Pay attention to your first sergeant.
Platoon leaders, listen to that platoon sergeant.
Gordon Ridge, exactly that. Specialist 5 lives matter. Exactly. Straight up.
And even going along with that, like those military rules, it says, some rules, meaning they are regulations that are laid out in a manual, and some are more like guidelines, like don't walk on the grass.
Yeah, but there's individuals that take it. I said, I want to know. I want to know. I need to know. I need to know who was the first sergeant or sergeant major that thought it was a good idea to starch the freaking ACUs. They're still called ACUs, by the way.
They are still a combat uniform.
They're Army combat uniform. They just have a different pattern called the operational combat pattern. Anyway, so I want to know. I want to know what, and I want to find that first sergeant or CSM that did that, so we can drag them all over the timeline. Because I think
they're probably at the academy.
Are you talking about like cadre? They're probably the cadre.
Yeah, they're something like that.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, man, it is. You must not just train enough. Yeah, the starch company lobbied it. Exactly that, Baconator. You know what? That's a good point.
Probably lost so much money.
People,
when we switched.
PT belt and starch lobby, freaking right now. There's probably in Congress. There's a PT belt lobby. A bunch of retired sergeants majors, freaking pissed off that we can't wear PT belts anymore with different color coded ranks. I think it's like Fort Campbell and Fort Bliss. You have to have a different color PT belt to signify if you were enlisted or officer, so that way you could give somebody their jollies and salute them at a different color if they're officer enlisted. Yeah, no shit, Chris. I'm telling you right now, there are people that are starching their uniforms right now, starching it.
You had a good point there. It's like follow the money. Like who can gain from this? Like somebody.
Who could gain? Somebody's like, who could gain from this? Sergeant of the Army retired Chandler. Exactly.
Like, what is he doing now? Like, where is he getting paid from? Like somebody is getting paid. I honestly believe, it's a little more obvious with, think people like Boeing and all the contractors and stuff like that. But like even these little things like paying $10 for a freaking PT belt, that money's going somewhere. Like somebody's getting a kickback. I don't know who it is, but it's somebody. That's why. And I don't know if it's the grass guy. Again, with the grass, I'll go back to first Cav headquarters. I worked there for several years. You can't walk on the grass. Why? I don't know. It's the same fucking grass you make me do PT on at 6:30, and I can walk on it then, but not at fucking 9 o'clock.
Right, exactly. And I'm walking across to get to the work that you're telling me to do. So I'm working for you.
Yes. Especially, because you couldn't park that close to the building. So
exactly.
If I had to park across the street, oh God, no, I have to go all the way around the block. So I can't walk in the fucking grass.
You better.
That 2 hours before I was, doing sit-ups on.
You better watch it. I know, exactly. Maybe there's a big Sarge association that we're not tracking, almost like the Masons or some shit like that. We gotta find out who they are to see if there's some sort of freaking diabolical scheme. The most diabolical of all sergeants majors are the retired ones.
Probably Becky.
Man,
she's running some shit.
I'm about to say she was like cranky on the TL. What's up with that? You know what I mean? Shit, have fun. Tonight's a speakeasy night, man. This sergeant's time is kind of like going off the rails like it's supposed to be.
Yes, this is the NCO club night.
NCO club. Not to mention the fact that we're literally close to finishing the show. We've gone. Usually we're like about an hour and a half, and now we're almost 2 hours, man. We're having fun. You guys in this chats, I appreciate y'all getting involved. Les, Bailey, Baconator, Pookie, Gordon, Chris, Becky. Yeah. Appreciate all your input. No, you guys have been killing it in the chats. I love it. But yeah, it's kind of funny that this whole drama about this outer fleece. I'm still pissed off about the outer fleece, about the outer garment with the fleece. As a matter of fact, I'm going to visit the nearest installation, and I'm going to go to Fort Riley, and I'm going to like, wear your fucking fleece outside. You know what I mean? I'll be that old. I'll be yelling at the clouds. You know what I mean? Driving by formations and shit. Wear your fleece.
Old man yells at clouds.
Yeah, exactly. Wear your fleece. Go to Fort Leavenworth. Wear your fleece. Fort Carson. Fleece. Wear them all. W. Brady says is a CQ fangirl. Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. CQ fangirl. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for no echo tonight. Well, last night we had a little discussion in the tech side of the house. CQ, believe it or not, is in charge of all the tech. He's responsible for making sure that all of our shows have highest video quality and highest audio quality as well. So, yeah.
It's yes, even with the echo on Tuesday's show, if you listen to the podcast, there is no echo.
Right, exactly.
We found the right squirrel to feed, and everything's good now.
Yeah, I think it was like a couple of squirrels we had to feed. But make sure you start your fleece. Stop it, Chris. Just stop. There's going to be some big.
You're going to get Big Sarge.
You're going to get. You know, I was going to. Chris, I was going to give you a freaking. Chris, I was going to give you a free fleece, but now that you're fucking talking some shit like that, what's up with that?
No fleece for you.
No fleece for you.
No suit for you.
No, yeah, no suit for you. No fleece for you, damn it. But anyways, hey, so we have let's break out the lemon pledge. We got some. We got
lemon pledge for you.
Yeah, housekeeping. Hey. All right, check this out. So we apologize for not keeping up on some of our housekeeping stuff. It's just that Mom's been really busy and she had some stuff on there. And I get cranky in there sometimes, but I know she's doing good work and she's got to handle some shit. So at any rate, we're gonna have some interesting. Actually, we're gonna have some great guests. I can't wait for some of the guests to come up. One of the things is that we need to charge double for shows for an echo.
Yes, twice as much sound for your ear holes.
One
echo for each ear.
For every echo that you hear, you have to take a shot. How about that? So we're gonna have Alan Beal. If you guys know who Alan Beal is, he is the Armed Forces Brewing CEO of Armed Forces Brewing. He's going to be coming on and shoot the shit with me on the Monday edition on the 7th of February. Now, you guys, you get Troxler back. Yeah, I know. We're thinking about having Sergeant Troxler back. I love his podcast. I still go back to some of his old when I did the interview and his freaking rant about the guy because some punk bitch did this, rah rah rah. I'm like, yes, chaos, drama on the TL. This is you see that guy that shot Bin Laden, that Master Chief, that chief that shot Bin Laden, and he's all over. He's like pimping out this American brew company. That's that brew company. As a matter of fact, that brew company is providing myself with some beverages to have on-air beer tasting, and he's going to come on and shoot the shit with us and talk about all that stuff.
What the hell? That's bullshit. I want in. Sorry, go on.
That's a Monday show. Come on, dude. You're like you even said I don't want no vet bro shit, and then you fucking like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Come on.
I don't want no political vet bro shit.
Okay, I get you saying.
Beer vet bro shit. I'm down.
You want beer vet bro shit? Well, we'll talk to him and say, hey, we'll send you some of the stuff because I'm going to be getting some Navy SEAL stuff. It's like I said, it's that brewing company that the guy who killed Bin Laden. I know he's a SEAL, and everyone likes to say, yeah, is he a SEAL because that's what everyone breaks his balls about is he's the guy.
Right, and he's selling beer, not T-shirts. So
yeah, and it's beer. I can handle the beer, or if he made other like hard booze or something, or maybe some freaking edibles or some cannabis or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That'd be good too. Anyway, so he's gonna come on and shoot the shit with us that week. We're gonna have his name is Robert O'Neill. Yes, Robert O'Neill, that guy, his beer company that he speaks for. This is the CEO that's coming. That week we're gonna have a pretty intense. I wouldn't say intense, but it's gonna be a pretty good. It's gonna be a pretty good discussion, pretty good show. A Miss Special, I should say Miss Specialist, because she's a reservist. So did we call her Miss or Specialist? No, we call her Miss.
We'll just call her by her first name unless she says otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So Shayla Show's gonna come on here, and she's an Army reservist out of Fort Sam Houston. Originally from Minnesota, and lives with her husband and who's an active duty airman. And their two daughters at JBSA Lackland, and I'm gonna tell you what, if there's a specialist that you want to help out, she's also a survivor of sexual assault, and she's gonna come on and shoot the shit with me to talk about what she went through. And I'm not gonna steal her thunder, but the story that she has is incredible. She's also a stage 4 survivor cancer, a stage 4 blood cancer survivor. There you go. I want to get that out right. And then she also runs a military nonprofit, and she's going to talk about all the trials and tribulations and everything that involved in actually writing a law for this called Shayla's Law. So I'm pretty excited because she's going to come on here and shoot the shit. I'm just going to let her go. She's I wouldn't say she's on a speaking circuit, but she has been invited out, just like how I get invited out to talk to individuals to discuss that topic. And it's going to be, I'm just going to go ahead and put that trigger warning out there that if there's some things out there that is going to bother you that has to deal with sexual assault, we're gonna be discussing that. So if it kind of if it's going to bother you, you might want to not want to tune in. Or obviously, of course, if you want to tune in and listen to it and see what she's got to say. Her story is incredible. Again, I don't know too many specialists that help in writing laws. Let's put it that way. Hell, I just like.
Yes, most specialists like to just, how do we get around this rule?
Yeah, exactly. Most specialists are doing special shit, not her. Right. She's been killing it. She's been crushing it. So, and a student and a mom, and all that. So again, and then the 22nd of February, I'm gonna say this with. I should have music up or have some sort of intro. So
probably.
I should, but whatever. Yeah. Because this is going to sound so like, how do I say this? How do you say this? How do you do an introduction on Pop Culture Warrior on the 22nd of February when the legendary Tito Ortiz is going to come in here and shoot the shit with CQ? The former UFC lightweight champion and also took part in numerous matches and will remember historically he owns Punishment Athletics, which has his own clothing line and gym. Tito Ortiz, legend. I can't wait for him to come on. I wonder what CQ's gonna. I don't know if CQ's like freaking, just like getting some good guests, man. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Awesome.
I think it's good. Tito Ortiz.
Absolutely.
So, what I can't wait for is when we have the other guests coming on and start talking about their other stuff. So, and then obviously, Cause is coming back to the mix, and he's like I said, he's one of the Tito Ortiz, man. I'm gonna just jump right back to that. He's like one of the most popular fighters in professional mixed martial artists, man. I mean, he's just like the Huntington Beach bad boy. You know what I mean? He's going to be joining Pop Culture. That's good. That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad to be part of the team. I'm just here drinking bourbon with me, two retired senior NCOs just shooting the shit, and everyone else is having all these great guests. It was I kind of feel like we're slacking there, Spanky. We need to get some better.
We might be.
I mean, we got Shayla coming on, but she'll help. Maybe up the little bit of cred there. But damn, dude, friggin' Tito Ortiz. That's what I'm talking about. And then Mark Lieben, he's going to be coming on. And shooting the breeze with Cause again, and he's coming out on the 22nd. A book's coming out on the 22nd called Failure to Fire. So I can't wait. That's gonna be awesome.
He is a return guest too. So I
that's
love
right.
Get a guest back.
I think it's like his.
On what's been going on.
I think wasn't he my guest and then Cause's guest and now coming back as Cause's guest?
I think he's been on twice. I know he's been on with Cause at least once.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes,
yeah, I think so too.
Remember. Yeah, he's this Navy veteran author, and is just writing away.
Yeah, dude.
So I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
The books. He wrote a book. What was it? He came back on to talk about the naval. He was a naval aviation pilot deployed to Vietnam and during Desert Storm, and he's wrote 6 novels and literally smashing novels.
It's not books, novels.
Novels. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, novels. Yes, we have novels. But anyways, and then of course, that's Failure to Fire. That Humvee that had sex with the MRAP PMCS pamphlet. Yeah, that infantry strike vehicle that looked like it was built by the old S10 Blazer. That's what it looked like. It looks like an old S10 Blazer that somebody put some Hua stuff on it and then put different tires. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like to me. You know what I mean? Not armored or anything like that. So I mean, we had freaking Polaris Rangers and stuff like that for little scoots for stuff like that. But anyway, so I can't wait. The lineup this month is gonna be pretty good. And then March we have we're just lining up some more guests from March, some pretty good ones.
March is filling up. I did not put all that out yet.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I can give you a sneak peek.
A lot of your, I'll tell you this then. How about this? A lot of your military influencers that you see, I don't want to say shit posting because some of the stuff is like legit funny stuff. Yeah. And so he's one of them is going to be coming on, and he's hilarious when he gets on here. He's going to be shooting the shit with me. And then we got, let's see, March. We have March, April.
March, we also have USAREC is coming on in March.
That's right.
Yes, the new USAREC leadership team. They'll be on.
USAREC is coming back. Yes. We had USAREC before. I think
we have had USAREC before,
but we've not had I think it was the sergeant major though, not the command team though, right?
Right. So, like I said, I'm still working the details out, but yes, USAREC leadership will be on in March. Yeah. They have new things going on. They have new leadership. We'll see.
Oh Lord, USAREC. Man, USAREC coming back on here. I know. I don't know. I kind of like the dynamic we have with USAREC.
I do too. I mean, you got to know, like, USAREC it's not a normal flagpole where all of their people, or where they can just walk out and touch them. So I'm sure they have unique challenges that, other leadership teams do not.
I'm going to tell you what, most of the stuff that we have coming up is going to be pretty, I will say, is going to be on along the lines of current news events. You know what I mean? So it's going to be coming up in May. It's going to start picking up too for the summertime as well. So May, I can't wait for May because we're working with some stuff with the Navy, and so when that
danger zoning,
some danger zoning, some lighting fires and kicking tires, and great balls of fire, and take me to bed or lose me forever. I mean, I'm like, what other hints can I throw out? You know what I mean? Let's turn and burn. Yeehaw, Jester's dead. I can keep going on, dropping some hints.
The original Iceman.
Ooh, I know, man. How can I? Well, I have to bow in front of the original Ice. You guys were the one that gave me this damn nickname anyways. Ice. My name's Ken. Shit. Nobody played Navy as a kid, but you know what? They did play Maverick. How about that? Ooh.
They absolutely did.
Ooh, snap. Oh, Lord. Can you come back from that mic drop? That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm in a good mood. This is fun.
Absolutely.
This has been fun. This has been a good show. Thank you guys. I see everybody in there. Shots again. Thank you guys so much for coming on tonight. The video, yeah.
Even you, Becky. Thanks for joining us.
Even you, Becky, for joining us. And we always appreciate feedback and input. The video, of course, that we saw in the beginning was from the Armed Forces of Ukraine, and I played it at the beginning of the show. And also the other one is the Sergeant's Time intro. I'm glad you guys like the new version. So, anyways, with that, I think that's it. I think
absolutely. I think that's what. Yeah, sweet dreams, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you're down south and having a snowpocalypse or icepocalypse, stay safe, stay home.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I'm doing for the next couple days.
That's right. You never know. Me and Spanky might do a Saturday show or some shit. You never know. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. So, guys, thank you for checking us out. We're right now currently live on YouTube, Twitch, 2 Facebook pages on Twitter, and also 14 other platforms disseminated of our podcast to include Google Play. God, I think my tongue is getting bourbonized. Google Play, Apple Podcasts, and then to include iHeartRadio's on there, and of course the TuneIn app. We need more shows. WTF, Brady, guess what? More shows are coming. Damn, who is this? Hang on, let me take this fucking. Oh my God, it's Stankus. Hang on, let's see what's Stankus. We haven't had a.
We haven't been stanked in forever.
All right. We haven't been Stank. What's up, Stankus? What's going on, man?
Hey, brother. How are you? Yeah, I know. It's getting close to the end of the show. Just wanted to call in and to give my regards. I didn't want you to think I died of the COVID.
Good. I'm glad.
Well, yeah, glad you didn't, man. I'm glad you're good to go, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, we're good, man. We're chilling out over here. You know, it's starting to get a little colder here in the southeast. I know Spanky there. She did a little ice skating tonight, or yesterday, or today early. Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, that was this morning.
You didn't break a hip.
I did not. I
didn't break a hip.
I managed.
But anyway, yeah. So just wanted to, like I said, drop in, say hi, continue to love the work. The last show I think I tried to call in, but you had some like dignified guest, and I would just have undignified this show. So totally cool, no hard feelings. I get it.
Why are you trying to undignify my shit? I'm just kidding.
I know, right? Yeah. It's just how I roll, man. But anyway, hey, one quick question, man. How's baby Ice doing, man?
Bro, he's
good.
I was just saying that earlier in the show, man. He's getting into everything. He was tearing apart the ductwork inside of his room. I had to go in and do a quick repair, and I sliced up my fingers and stuff. So I was like, God, man. Yeah, he's what it.
He's
not
laundering money yet.
Yeah, he's an average little boy, man. Just wants to get in the shit, take things apart. I don't buy him any more electronics because he will take them apart. So, there you go.
Yeah, and you find out they don't go back together unless you're working at a Chinese sweatshop, you know?
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, we don't purchase Nikes, so yeah, I know what you're saying. But
yeah, man. Well, look, man, and Spanky just wanted to say hi. We're going to keep it low key and let you guys get ready to wrap it up.
All right, man.
Keep doing the good stuff you guys do, and keep the rubber side down, as I always say.
Always.
Ciao.
All right, brother. Take it easy. For you guys, Thanks. Peace out. Hey, so for you guys that don't know, Stankus, since Sergeant's Time created, was first instituted, he was like one of the first callers I ever had, to the point to where he has his own stinger.
Yes.
And so when we
he
say
is a very good friend of the station.
Yeah. So he's a good friend of the station, and also, so every time he comes on and calls and shoots the shit and provide his stankus wisdom, that's the indicator that everybody in the WTF nation just got stanked. So here's his stinger. If you guys don't know, you got stanked. Anyways, again, y'all, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate this. Appreciate all the feedback in the chats. Y'all are rocking it. And again, I like I said, stay tuned. There's going to be more. I think we just gave a bunch of hints, right, to what's happening. All right.
I think we did.
Yeehaw, Justice Day.
Highway.
Exactly. All right, y'all have a good night. And again, thank you for listening. You can always listen to us on those platforms that I mentioned earlier. And we have Monday, the Monday edition with myself and Mom. And then we have Tuesday, Pop Culture Warrior with Radar and CQ. Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky that you're listening to right now. And, of course, Friday Night Freedom with Pooks and the Cause. So, anywho, y'all have a good night. See ya. Shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. They say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.